Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is my Peppermint spinning snowman, and this guy's going to be going under a full restoration. Um, he works pretty good right now, but you know, I've been trying to do every single one of mine, and this one's just the next one. Gonna take the skin off, clean the skin, you know, kind of clean out and work on all the mechanisms. His spinning arm is what I'm mainly going to focus on. If you listen, there's like a lot of motor noise, like not normal motor noise. I don't really know what's causing it. But I mean, and it spins slow. But other than that, I mean, the hips and the hat arm are good. So I'm gonna go ahead and show it now. So I mean, like overall, he works pretty good. But I remember there was a lot of issues when I first got this thing. When I first got this thing, I don't know if you guys remember, only hip swing, and the hips actually broke like the first activation that I got it. So there was a lot of problems in the spinning arm though. It had that. I'm pretty sure it had a split motor shaft gear. It had a yellow gear, and all the teeth were missing. And the big gear that the actual like arm is connected to at the very bottom was split too, and it was slipping. So, I think I tried to I found one that was very similar for the spinning arm for that yellow gear, and I remember I got one in my Frosty, and it worked really good. My black hat, the spinning arm was super quiet on it, but this one is just hear it. I don't like it. So, and it's very stiff. I don't know what that is. Very stiff. Sounds good this way. So I'm gonna take a look at it and see if I can get that fixed. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do, I don't wanna run this vest nor the scarf through the wash. So as you can see, I've got the back cut open, you know, down through there. The back opened up. I'm going to cut the threads holding the vest to the actual skin off, and I'm going to get the vest off and the scarf off. Okay, so here it is with the vest and scarf taken off. I'm probably just going to take a lint roller to this. It's not really dirty, but there's the snowman. Looking really weird. That looks very strange. Looks very weird. Alright, so I cut the end of the glove here. It looks kind of rough, and then I fished the spinning arm back through the arm, back out through the inside right here. And as you can see, like, the spinning arm's weird. Like, it's not something very wrong with this, and I need to work on it, because look at it. It's not closed up all the way. It's got that nasty orange grease that I used to use. So I'll be cleaning this back out 100%. But it screams 2005. It's yellowing kind of everywhere. None of it's too severe, but you know, it's showing its age, I guess. Okay, so what I'm doing now is prepping the skin. Got the skin off literally after you pull the spinning. Only things holding these skins on is this bottom part down here where it's zip tied. You just cut up the back, normally about halfway, about to here, and you can just take this part. I like these because they have this lining inside, like your 2002 ones where it just has the stuffing in here. You need to take this out before you wash it. See, I pulled the stuffing out of the hand here, you know, before washing it, because you don't want the stuffing to come out in the wash, or it will just make a mess. And I'm kind of prepping the skin here, cutting off any loose threads or anything like that, so it'll be a lot easier when I go to sew it back up. All I do, when I fix these, I'll undo the zip tie at the bottom if it's not already undone. Cut the back, like you can see here. And then all you have to do is take this pin out right here and cut the end of the glove. And you can pull the spinning arm with the lights and everything on it, and you can just legit just pull it right out through here. It's a little more challenging on a 2002, but it is 100% doable. And then a lot of times, and I don't think this one had it, but there'll be a thread run through the hand right here that goes through this little loop in the hat arm to keep the hat arm from, you know, sliding down. But I don't think this one had it. I cut a thread here, and I'm really hoping the hat just doesn't fall off. But yeah. Another thing that I learned is you need to be careful when washing these. If you have one, see where this one's just a fabric hat, I can wash this one, I think, with no issues. But these kind of hats, like these, I would insist actually taking these off, because I don't know if you can tell, but look, when it went through the wash, it like, I don't know if it like burnt part of the hat or what, but it like pulled the little fine threads out of it. You can see right there, and I'm gonna have to like, it turns it gray, so I'm gonna have to take a Sharpie or something to color over it, because there's not a whole lot. But you can see like this one got washed, and it didn't do anything to this one, but it's probably not a good idea to take a chance, because that's pretty noticeable. This one got washed, and this one got washed, and you can see just little spots where it kind of, so you need to be careful when doing that. But this guy's gonna get all clean. He's already pretty clean, and I'll go ahead and redot the cheeks whenever I'm done. My pink's a little bit brighter, so you can see like the ones that I did on him, they stand out a little bit more. You can see like ones like this, it's almost more of a red than a pink. This one has pink. You can see it's very bright, vibrant pink. So I literally just take a pink highlighter and just dot the cheeks. But yeah, so I'm gonna get him in the wash. Alright, so the skin's in the wash. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's in there getting washed. I have the spinning arm taken apart. It's I don't know what's wrong with it. As soon as you would even try and close it, it would just jam. I'm gonna wash this out and get this nasty orange grease that I put in here out of here. And then I'm gonna try putting this together. You can see that crack right there. And it's glued. And I almost think this crack is actually, I think I might know what the problem is, and I don't think there's gonna be a way for me to fix it. I noticed when I had this together that this gear looked like this part looked a lot longer than it needed to be. I think I might have glued this back when I glued it a little too far forwards. Cause I'm gonna try to hold the same between my legs. This is probably gonna go terrible. But it seems like, and I'm gonna have to wash this, but like, there's a little bit of play, but there's not much. It just seems, I don't know. I'm gonna work on it, see if I can figure something out. And then I'm gonna see if I can put more screws in it. And I'm also gonna work on this motor a little bit, because it feels alright, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Alright, so when it comes to me removing the grease out of these gearboxes, normally I'll take like steaming hot water and I'll fill a cup like this. And then I'll take some Dawn. This is not Dawn, but it's knockoff Dawn. And take the hot water and put it in here, and it'll kind of get the grease off a little bit better. Normally I'll take an old toothbrush and get it off. So yeah. Okay, so it's definitely worth taking this motor apart. Something feels, I see that there's like stuff wrapped up around this part, but something about this motor feels off. Listen. It doesn't feel necessarily good. So I'm 100% taking this apart. Oh, you can see through it. But I'm pulling this apart because it feels very weird. So we'll see how nasty it is on the inside. Okay, so here I am with this motor. You can see I pulled it apart there and took the little your little belt pulley off. And I'll show you why it's good to take these apart. You can kind of see it already. There's a bunch of black goop on this. I'm just simply going to take a napkin, a little piece of napkin, and just wipe this off, and I'll show you what comes off. Just going to spin this and pull it off. And yeah, there you go. This is where your motor makes a connection. You can see these little arms right here. This right here is where those arms touch, is on this little copper piece right here. This is what actually is giving your motor power. And I do put a little bit of grease on here, but after a while it just turns into this black sludge. And it really is terrible. So I wipe this down. There's a little ring right here that you can pull off like that. See? It's not really focusing, but there's a little ring. I take the little ring off. If I'll ever be able to find it again, who knows. But then I just, you know, get in behind that and wipe it all down. It's all nice and gross. And now, where did my ring go? Ringo Starr. There it is. It's very tiny. Just gonna put it back on. Don't really know what it does, but there it is back on. I'm just gonna take a little bit of take this paper towel, wipe these down, and get that in there. There's black sludge in that part too. And put it back together, put a little bit of grease in there, and put it back together and see how this goes. If you're wondering how you get these apart, there's just little tabs here that you push apart. And try to be careful to not break the little, I think these are capacitors. I'm not too sure what these are actually. We just call them 104 chips. Just don't break those off. So, yeah. Okay, so this is 100% why you make sure that there's not a hole anywhere there's stuffing. Because I just took it out of the wash. And apparently there was a hole, and it's up here. And I now realize, look at it. This is where the stuffing was. All of the stuffing that was in his head came out, and it is now literally absolutely everywhere. Luckily, I had it in that bag for the washing machine, or it would have been absolutely everywhere in the washing machine. So you guys gotta make sure that it doesn't. Gotta make sure that your stuffing's not got a hole in it somewhere that it can get out of. Because it was like, I didn't realize it, but it was everywhere. So I've got to restuff it with new stuffing. The stuffing like got all nasty, so that sucks. Okay, yeah, 100% someday this thing's getting a spinning arm transplant. This entire spinning arm just sucks. So I'm like 90% sure that when I glued this gear on that time back, it's glued too far back. Because if you look, I'm thinking that when I'm gonna tighten this down on this piece, right? It's glued too far back, and it's just gonna jam. It's gonna crush down on that to the point that it can't spin, which is like what it was doing before. This whole thing is just like, look how flimsy it is. Just, and I don't know. I hate this gearbox because you have to have this gear pushed down all the way, and you can see by the way the grease is right there. This gear right here in the middle is barely touching the bottom of this gear. If this gear even comes up a little bit, it doesn't touch anymore. So let me show you what I mean. And it's still like so, it still sucks. It's not smooth at all. Well, I can't really show you. I can't really have a hand free, but believe you me, it's pretty sucky. So, I mean, I'm going to try to figure something out and try to get back together. This gearbox is just trash. It's exactly what I thought it was. This cannot close. This gearbox can't close all the way, or it just refuses to spin. And it's still, even with all this grease, the spinning arm is still extremely loud. I don't really know what's going on, to be honest with you. But I mean, you can see, I have to turn it this way farther. I can't close it. Like, there's something here in the middle something else that is not letting it close all the way, like this gear, like the one that I put in there, the one in the middle, like it's, I don't know. This gearbox has always just been very weird. And I have never been able to fully figure out why you can't put it back together. Right now I gotta take this shaft out here. And I gotta put it back in here. Like that. And now I can close this. Close, quote unquote. Try and close it. Yeah, I mean, look, it slides together like nothing, but once again, it won't close in the middle. You can see right through it. So, yeah. And like I said, I can screw the top in, but the bottom, and the reason it spins so slow is because this thing sucks. It like binds up and just spins terribly. So this thing needs a new spinning arm. I don't know what the deal is with this one, but it's garbage. And I think it's the big gear. Plus probably the yellow gear that I replaced. No idea. But I mean, I could try to replace it with something like the Bell Spinning Santa, because I don't care about it as much. But it needs a spinning arm. This is, I don't want to really put this back in there, because it kind of sucks. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Alright, so I ended up pulling the spinning arm out of the knockoff Frosty stain. It'll work, I think. I'm just gonna take this front kit. Yeah, see, I gotta get rid of all that. But I'm gonna just take literally this front part. I'm gonna leave the back part, because I mean, I've already glued that and everything, and there's nothing wrong with this back piece. I think if I look at them, they're literally exactly the same, so I don't think there's much of a reason to actually. But this part, the reason here, I'll actually show you real quick, if I can find my screwdriver, why I have to do this. It would have just been too complicated to even try and do. It's got a good, this thing has good belts, which is, I love, because I don't have any belts right now. You see, this piece, you guys could see it earlier, this piece cracked, and I glued it too far, I think, too far up. I glued it, it's glued wrong, and it won't work. You can't actually close this because it crushes this gear against this front piece of plastic. It basically just crushes it on both sides and prevents it from spinning. And where it's been glued like 4 times, it's not, I'm not even going to try and take it off. At least, like, I could put it in this guy and it'll work pretty good enough, you know. You can see what I did here with this one, though. See, I have a gear there, and then if you look at the motor on this, which is falling down inside, whatever, it's got a gear on it too. I did some wonky gear driven thing, you know, whatever. Anyway, so I'm gonna swap these and make this work. So yeah. Okay, so I struck terrible luck. I took the Frosty apart to get the big gear out of the spinning arm. This one, as you guys can see, I glued there's too much shaft hanging off the end of this one. You can't seal the bottom of that gearbox up or it jams, and no matter what, it's just grinding. It's not a smooth gearbox. So I was putting on, I swapped it out of this one. This gearbox, the gears in it looked perfect. Look, this is that rubber gear out of it. Look at it. It's amazing. It's not a bit yellowed or anything. I was sitting there tapping on the new, it didn't have any cracks in it or anything, the new gear for the shaft. Look, I'm trying to glue it, but it legit broke in half. like this whole corner just fell off. So here I am, gluing it on the shaft. I'm gonna try to make it work. And I don't know if it's gonna work, but we'll just have to see. It's not perfectly lined up. And if you can tell, you can see that right there. It's a little bit not lined up. It wouldn't line up. That sucks. I'm literally sitting there tapping it on, and it's literally, it was right there, right where it needs to be, and that is here, dink, and it just breaks off a chunk for legit no reason. So, this one's probably gonna have a gear-driven arm in it, since, you know, this one's literally, I put so much time into this one too, making it something nice. I might rig up a spinning arm in this. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I'm probably just gonna put this one spinning arm in this, because why not? I don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay, so, okay. Oh my god. I got this back together with that gear glued. Don't know if it's gonna work. No idea. I hope so. No clue. Seems to work. I've stopped it with my hand a couple of times, but who knows? I might break on the first time putting it back together. Took the hat arm apart and greased it. One of the I'm on a call. I might turn this down just a little bit, but I was working on the hat arm and the peg snapped off, aka one of these. Luckily, I guess it wasn't super necessary because it still works perfectly fine. Yeah, worked on the hips. You can see everywhere that I'm greasing these. I'll actually show you. I'm going to take a little bit of it here on the end of this. I'm going to put some here on this part of the boot. You can see the plastic shavings where, you know, it rubs. So doing this, yes, it's messy, but it really does help. Like, after I do this, it's funny because you can set it down on, like, piece of a blanket or something and play it, and you do not hear a single bit of plastic rattling together. I'm gonna put some in this part because where the plastic rubs here, and you can see I like to put some along these rails right here because the mechanism actually rides right there. So yeah, and then I'll put some on the outside of this here where this piece is gonna rub here and here, so some here, and then I put some like up here where this piece is gonna go. So I'll put some like on this part, and then I'll put some on this part in here. It really helps, I promise. Alright guys, so here he is. It is exactly 2 o'clock in the morning. So, you know, didn't take very long, like 3 p.m. to 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, no, I ran into so many issues, but it's not one of my proudest ones, honestly. Actually, no, I am pretty proud of it. I wish his face looked a little bit different, but he looks okay. But I guess I might as well go ahead and show him. Oh, he works pretty good. The gear and the spinning arm is glued, so hopefully it doesn't just die. But listen to how smooth the mechanisms are. If it turns on. Literally just gotta jiggle the... Here we go. But anyways, guys, there he is. Works great. So thank you guys for watching.